Dr. Emlynns here, and I'm going to be doing a labor and delivery story with my second pregnancy, Gabriel, who is now almost 8 months. So I'm a bit late, but I did one for Landon, so I want to do one for Gabriel, even though they're very similar. So when I was 38 weeks, I went to my appointment. I was about 2 centimeters dilated and almost fully effaced. And I was gonna ask her at my 39-week appointment if she would strip my membranes, because that's what put me into labor with Landon. So I was like, you know, I was gonna ask her to do that again for me. And it was my same OB that I had with Landon. I love her. She's amazing. Shout out to my doctor, Dr. Aya. So actually, the night before my appointment, my 39-week appointment, I was laying in bed, I was asleep, and it was thundering that night, and the thunder woke me up. And so as I woke up, my back started kind of like having pain. It was like coming and going, and I'm like, I don't remember that happening with Landon. So I texted my older sister. My oldest sister, she has 3 kids, and so I don't know why she was up, but it was because it was like midnight. And I texted her and I was like, hey, like, I'm having some back pain. And she was like, oh, you could be in early labor. And I'm like, all right, you know, it wasn't a big deal. I wasn't concerned at the time. So I tried to go back to sleep, and the pain, I was like, it was just coming and going, and it started to move to my stomach. And so I started timing them. And I never did this with Landon, but I was like, I didn't know what was going on. They weren't painful enough for me to like go to the hospital, but they were also like, I'd never experienced it with Landon. Like, I just remember waking up with Landon in full blown like pain and contractions, and I headed to the hospital like straight from there. So I was texting another friend of mine as well, letting her know, you know, and she was like, oh, you know, maybe you're in labor soon. And I was like chilling, you know, just trying to see if the pain would subside, and it did not. It actually started to increase, but around 3 in the morning, I was still timing at this point, and it was so irregular. Like, they would be anywhere from 4 minutes apart to like a minute apart, and they would last anywhere from like 15 seconds to like 45 seconds. Like, it was just really irregular, but it was still kind of like painful, getting a little bit more painful. And so I got up and started walking around, and that helped with the pain a little bit. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So, you know, I was just like, maybe I'm not in labor. And finally, they just would not go away. They started to get a little bit more painful. So I called the on-call OB at my hospital, and she was just like, you know, you may be in early labor. You know, just wait it out about an hour, and if it still gets worse, then come in, and I will let the labor and delivery part of the hospital know that you might come in. So I was like, all right. And I remember with Landon, I did not want to wake my parents up, and of course I had to go in labor again in the middle of the night. So I did not want to wake my parents up, but I'm just sitting there, like, I would walk in their room and I would like try and wake them up, but I was too scared. I felt bad, so I'd go back to my room and then be in pain and then go back, and I kept doing that for like 15 minutes. Finally, my dad got up for work around 4:30, so this had been an hour after I'd called the on-call OB, and I let him know what was going on. My mom heard us talking, so then she knew what was going on, and so we just kind of waited it out. My dad still went to work. My mom did end up calling out of work just in case. And so we waited it out a little bit longer, and then around 7, I think we decided we were gonna go to the hospital, because I was just in a lot of pain. I had bought one of those big birthing balls, and I was just trying to use that to ease my pain. I was bouncing on them, rolling around, kind of, I don't know. So I'm back with a special guest, Gabriel. Yeah, I'm talking about you when you were born. Did you say hi? Oh, excuse you. Hi. Hi. So my dad was already at work, and my mom was trying to take a shower, taking her sweet time, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I remember we were trying to figure out what to do with Landon, because we obviously didn't want Landon there chilling at the hospital this whole time. So we were trying to figure out what to do with him. And so, oh, what? Landon found a pancake. He found a pancake. So me and my mom were working at a daycare at this point, so, and also my niece was. So we went to the daycare and we were gonna drop Landon off there for the day, but there was like the hand, foot, mouth going around, so my mom was like, no, I don't want him there, and just in case he might get it. So my brother was actually there dropping off his daughter, my niece, so we decided to leave Landon with him. And then my mom was taking her time, like I said. She comes back, and I'm in the car in so much pain, and she comes in with her donuts and a soda, and I'm like, what the heck? And then she can't find her phone. So then we're trying to look for her phone, and she was almost gonna go all the way back home. And at this point, the traffic was so bad because school was like starting, and the daycare is right next to an elementary school and a middle school. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to go all the way back home in the traffic. But luckily we found it. And so we got to the hospital around, I think it was 8 or 8:30. So of course they have to, you know, check me in or whatever. You know, they have to ask me some questions, get me like a wristband. And then they finally got me into a labor and delivery room. And I really wish I would have vlogged for at least one of their deliveries, but I just wasn't really active in YouTube at that time, so I didn't get that. I wish I could, but so like I said at my appointment, are you done? Are you done? Yeah. So at my appointment at 38 weeks, I was 2 centimeters, like I mentioned, and then when she checked me when I got to the hospital, I was 5 centimeters. So she's like, yeah, you're definitely in labor. And so oh, okay. So she was a great nurse. After she checked me, she was very good about keeping me calm when I would have contractions, because they were still irregular at the time and they were painful, and sometimes they weren't, but she did really good. I was really blessed to have good nurses for both boys. And so I did get the epidural, but it took them a while. So anyone who gets the epidural knows that they have to come in and they have to talk to you and ask you these questions. Basically, you have to give your consent for them to do it, and it's just, you know, precaution and everything, the risks and whatever. And then they finally have to, like, then everyone has to leave, and so then they gotta, you know, find the spot that they're gonna do it, you know, clean it up, whatever. And yeah, so it takes a while. And so I got it when you checked me at 5 centimeters, I didn't get the epidural until I was closer to 7 centimeters, because it took them a while, because, you know, there's only like one anesthesiologist that's going to the different rooms on the labor and delivery floor to give women their epidurals. So I had to wait until it was my turn. So around 11, I believe, no, I totally forgot something else. I forgot to mention that with Landon, I don't know when my water broke. I never felt it, and then when I got to the hospital, they never broke my water. And so I don't know what happened there. But with Gabriel, they had to break my water, and they did that, I believe, after I got the epidural or something. I'm not sure, because they have to give you the catheter and then give you the epidural, because obviously you'll be numb, so you can't get up and go to the bathroom. So I was around 7 centimeters when they broke my water. And then, you know, I think around 11, they came and checked me, and they were like, oh, okay, you're at 9. I think it was like 10:30. They're like, you're at 9. When we get back, you should be ready to push. They came back, and they're like, you're still not fully there completely. So they put me in like this other position, like where I was on my side and my leg was up. I sat there for a while, which was really uncomfortable, but did that, came back, and they're like, okay, like, you know, you're about ready to push. So they got my OB and got the baby station ready and everything. OB was in there, and she was like wanting me to do some practice pushes. So I was feeling a lot of pressure, but like not any urge to push, because they tell you if you feel like you have to poop or an urge to push, just call us, because that means you're ready to push the baby out. I just felt a lot of pressure. It was very like uncomfortable, like a weird feeling. And so they're like, oh yeah, it's because he's like right there. And so she wanted me to do some practice pushes, which I remember her wanting me to do with Landon as well. So I did like one little push, and they were like, whoa, whoa, stop, stop, stop. And I'm freaking out. They give me an oxygen mask, and I'm like, what did I do wrong? You know, I don't know what's wrong with him. But they didn't expect him to come so quickly. He was coming out really fast. So the nursery people weren't in there. She didn't have all her full gear on because she didn't expect it to go so quickly. So I had to wait for them to come, and yeah, yada yada. So basically then I pushed him out in about like 5 minutes, and he was born at 11:25 a.m. He was 6 pounds, 10 ounces, and 19 and I think 3/4 inches. So he was only a pound bigger than Landon and an inch longer than Landon. So, or an ounce bigger than Landon. So that's all that really happened when I had Gabriel. It went by so quickly, and my camera is moving. So yeah, everything went nice. No complications. Everything went really smooth, and he's happy, he's healthy, and I really wish I would have vlogged it, but I didn't, so I'm sad about it, but that's okay. I have pictures. So that's my labor and delivery story with Gabriel. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, I had him May 12th. I don't think I mentioned that in the video. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not. You can follow me on any of my social media if you have any questions or video suggestions, or if you just want to talk. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thanks, baby. That hurts.